I remember the Christmas before my grandmother got sick. I remember her calling me. It was a Tuesday afternoon in a panic. The day before, we had finally gotten all four, yes, all four of her Christmas trees up and decorated and ready for Christmas because she always hosted Christmas for our whole family. And she had gotten a cat a couple years prior, and she needed this cat because kept her company, and she loved cats. And this cat was a terror around the holidays because it loved to tear up wrapping paper. It loved to climb up in the trees and play with all the tinsel that she hung up. And my grandmother was a perfectionist. It took us all afternoon to do all four trees. She was so happy with the result, but she had called me because the Christmas tree in her living room, her most prized and most beautiful Christmas tree, had come crashing down because the cat was too heavy for this medium-sized tree, and it came tumbling down, and all of her ornaments were shattered, and the tinsel was all over the floor, and she was just in a panic, and she needed help. So I went over, and we stood the tree back up, and we saved the ornaments that we could save. And now obviously I can look back and laugh at it, but she was so frustrated because this silly little cat had torn down her tree. And you know, she loved that cat more than anything, but that night I think she would have let it outside. She was so mad. She was just always full of the holiday spirit, even when it wasn't the holidays. She was just always so giving and loving, and she's just a wonderful lady. If somebody loved Christmas, it was my grandmother, Bernadette Tunin. Thanksgiving night, we cleaned up dinner, and we would start pulling out all of her other Christmas decorations aside from her Christmas trees, and we would put them all up, and my dad would put up the Christmas lights on the house, and we would sit around her fireplace in the living room, and we'd watch Hallmark movies. And she loved movies, those Hallmark movies, those love stories that every single one is the same, and she just loved them so much. But if there was something that she loved more than Christmas, it was her garden. She loved to be outside and doing yard work and planting flowers and watering her flowers and edging the grass, and she just loved to be outside and admire her beautiful yard. She always had the most beautiful yard on her block, and people would come by and just stare at how perfect, and it was just, she spent so much time on her garden, and she built retaining walls, and she just really took care of her plants, and she took pride in her yard, and it was just always so beautiful. And if there was one thing that she loved more than her yard, it was her grandchildren. I was the third oldest, and we were her life. She lived to see us and to come to our holiday concerts and our spring concerts, and I was in musicals, so she would always live to come and see me perform, and to sing in my choir, and to watch my cousins do all of their extracurriculars, baseball and softball, and she loved all of it. She lived to watch all of us grow and thrive. She lived to serve others and to be the best woman that she could be. She was the best chef that I've ever met. She was the best grandmother, best friend, and the best little old lady I've ever known. What I would give for her to see the East Coast where I live, and I've been living for 4 years, for her to hold my little boy and to just squeeze him and give him kisses, and to hear him say great grandma, even though she would hate it with a burning passion because she would feel that being called great grandma makes her old. And what I would give for her to be able to come to Colorado, where we're moving in a few months, and to see the beautiful mountains and to spend time with our family. She passed away very unexpectedly 5 years ago, and she's just a beautiful lady. And as much as I love her, there's one thing that I'm still a little bit mad about, is she took all of her amazing recipes to the grave with her. And so she may have been good, but she still made me a little mad. But life sure has changed a lot since she's been gone. But I know that she's watching us and guiding us every day.